every hair transplant result is unique. So therefore, there is a lot to learn from each and every hair transplant result. Besides this case study, in the last half an hour, I have compiled, hastily though, a list of 10 guiding principles you need to consider, you need to assimilate before seeking a hair transplant and starting your tortuous and often frustrating hair loss treatment and hair transplant journey. So this is a young Indian male who underwent for his grade 5 male pattern baldness a hair transplant procedure 6 months back. The patient's result in detail is shown later in this video. The patient states that he has achieved his goals and objectives which he set out to before he came for his hair transplant to us. He has been diligently taking oral finasteride in the dosage 1 milligram a day for the past 6 months, ever since he had his procedure done with us. And like in most other patients that I treat, he did not suffer from any side effect. And it is very heartening to note when patients who are young and who have progressive baldness, higher grades of baldness, commit themselves to long-term use of DHT blockers. Patients who are well-researched, who understand what androgenetic alopecia is all about. But what he is not happy about is that his native thinning hair, despite using finasteride, continues to thin, though at a much lesser pace than it earlier was doing, before he started using oral finasteride. This is because androgenetic alopecia, friends, is more potent than any DHT blocker. There is no DHT blocker that blocks 100% DHT. And as you all know, baldness in most people who are young, baldness never sleeps. If hair transplant hits you at an early age, chances are that you will need to do all it takes to rein in the progression of androgenetic alopecia. So before we go on to the results of this young man, 28 years old, I would like to reiterate that hair transplant is not a one-time fill it and forget it venture. The 10 guiding principles I compiled today morning to guide you through your hair loss, hair transplant journey, which you may like to note and which will, in all probability, help you in avoiding a huge blunder are: firstly, the decision to undergo a hair transplant should never be impulsive. Go for a hair transplant when your condition is stable with or without an oral DHT blocker. Thirdly, believe in science. Do not rely only on your emotions or on hard sell. Because baldness never sleeps. Make a plan for the long term. Select a doctor who has a plan for future progression of baldness. Get your procedure done from a doctor's clinic where the doctor not only does the counseling, but he does the procedure too. A clinic which is not a hair mill. A clinic which is not a hair factory. The doctor who counsels you should be doing the procedure. 8.3. Cut your coat according to the cloth available, for the scalp donor is limited. Do not waste it in one session. Do not kill the hen that lays golden eggs. Now, how do you ensure all this, that you get what you've been promised? The only way is to take finances under your control. Never make 100% of the payment before the procedure starts. I always tell my patients to pay 50% after the procedure is over because patients are so anxious these days. Patients hear all sorts of stories. They are not really convinced when they've entered the clinic that who will be doing the procedure in spite of all the promises made to them. So pay 50% after the procedure is done, after you're satisfied who did the procedure, after what has been promised to you has been delivered. This is the only safeguard you have after you have committed yourself to the clinic. Lastly, watch videos, meet patients, continue a dialogue with the doctor who's going to do your procedure. Do all this till you are comfortable with the clinic and especially the doctor who's going to treat you. Thank you for watching, and I encourage you to post a comment in the comment section below. Comments are a great learning experience for myself and for the people who are my listeners, the people who watch videos, because comments are unbiased. And the discussions that go on in the comment section are a huge learning experience for most. God bless you.